being legal whilst seemingly being illegal.
Yeah.
Welcome to my very clean Toyota Chaser, which is the perfect tool for today's job, which is Petrolheadonism Underground. Mostly because this is my most suitable car for the job, and also because during the photo shoot for last year's event, which is the first one that happened, that is where I first took the Chaser. It was the first public outing for the car. Before I even revealed the car, I took it to that photo shoot. And then last year, I took this car to Petrolheadonism Underground this time of year, and it was the last event that this car attended before I fitted the body kit. And now it has the livery, so it looks incredible. But the government says otherwise. The Mayor of London says I, Sadiq, can't take this car into London without paying the £12.50 ULEZ charge. And because it's a two-day event, that means arriving on one day and leaving on another day, so that's £25. And I absolutely refuse to ever pay a ULEZ charge. And there are ways around it, and that is what today's video is about. And I'm not only taking this car, I'm going to take the Cobra as well, which is also not ULEZ compliant. I'm also taking the Nissan. I'm going to drive that there because apparently my 3.5 litre V6 that smokes more than any other vehicle, other than maybe the MG, is ULEZ compliant because of the year. It's based on the European emissions rules, so Euro 4 is what petrol cars have to meet, which came in 2005. That's why the Nissan is fine, because it's 2006, and then diesel has to meet Euro 6, which came in 2014, which means a whole lot of diesel cars have to pay it. Pumpkin, no, that's... Pumpkin's just showing me the my plan, so I don't have any proper tape, but this is parcel tape, and I'm thinking taping us up because they've got cameras all around the area. Now last year at Petrolheadonism Underground this was fine because the ULEZ area was within kind of the North Circular, so very central London, because obviously emissions are a bit higher because congestion and traffic. There's a lot more vehicles in that small amount of space, but now for some reason they've expanded it to basically within the M25, so areas that aren't even London. It's all money grabbing, it's nothing to do with the environment. And if you look at the UK's environmental impact based on other countries, it's fine. I'm not getting into this political debate because people in the comments will hate me for it, because it's not a political channel, it's a car channel. I want to use the cars, I want to show the cars, and I don't want to pay the government to do that because I'm already doing that in the tax on top of the fuel, the road tax, which isn't road tax, it's emissions tax. So road tax is already based on the emissions of a car. Our road network is actually paid by other taxes, so everyone pays for the upkeep of roads. The tax you pay on your car is for the emissions, and that's why electric cars are less, and that's why e-scooters, cyclists don't pay road tax, because it's emissions tax. They don't produce emissions. Anyway, let's get to it. Now, first things first is that it's YFood's birthday this week, and you can get 20% off with my regular discount code, Adam-YouTube, on whichever product you choose. So the link is down in the video description. This is classic choco. This is going to be my breakfast whilst I'm getting the cars ready to go to Wembley, but it can be lunch or dinner. It's a full meal in this one bottle. It fills you up for between 3 to 5 hours. It's got 26 vitamins and minerals. It's high in protein, high in fiber, lactose-free, gluten-free, no added sugar, and tastes amazing, especially classic choco. So click the link in the video's description to shop the full range and use my discount code of Adam-YouTube for that 20% off discount. There are tons of flavors to choose from, and they all taste amazing. Very convenient for when you're on the go, you don't have time for a full meal. This is your full meal. This is YFood. So Mosul really want this car on their stand at the show. I was only going to have 2 cars, but now I'm going to have a third. So they're going to be picking this up in a little bit. And the trouble with that is open trailers still display the number plate, and it's obviously a camera-based system, so the camera can still pick up my number plate on a trailer and will still send me a fine if I don't pay the ULEZ charge. And yes, I could contest it. I could go and say it was on a trailer and they'd probably waive it, but to avoid that, we've got some lovely parcel tape, which I think is translucent, so might not do the job. So does that... I feel like I'm breaking the law. I don't think a camera is going to pick up any of that. Yeah, I think we should be fine. In fact, as soon as I leave the gates of my property, it becomes illegal because I'm hiding the number plate on public land. Also, about public land and the law, people often tell me, oh, it's on private land, you can do donuts in a car park, but if it's publicly accessible, then it still has public road laws. Anyway, this is not meant to be a lesson, this is just a documentation of me breaking the law, but not breaking the law. Avoiding charges. Yeah, I might as well do the front as well. Goodbye, YT. Does that work? Yeah, I think that works. I also spent 5 hours yesterday, that's an hour and 40 minutes per car, washing all 3 cars for this event, and I remembered about my little rash here. So this is meant to be the colour that the Chaser is painted in. That's definitely white. Right, this is my artist's impression of a white wheel. There we go. And voila! If you want your wheels refurbishing, just contact Adam C Detailing and Refurbishment Limited. Which doesn't exist, by the way. Whilst I'm at this, I got a nasty stone chip on my Cobra. The paintbrush is not ideal. Oh my god, that was perfection. It's the Cobra that's being collected first, so let's do this too. Again, I'm sure the cameras are facing the rear, but might as well do the front as well. Breaking the law. That'll do. Oh, it's been a little while since I've used this car. It still sounds the part. But now the Cobra's loaded up, ready to go to Wembley. I'm waiting now for Motul to collect the Chaser so they can have it on their stand. Then I'm going to drive the Nissan myself, which is ULEZ compliant, into the show, get the Cobra off, put that on my stand, put the Nissan on my stand, and have a good day. 2-day event. It's going to be great. But you'll never guess what. Motul has just turned up with a trailer. It's an enclosed trailer, so I didn't need to cover the number plates on the Chaser. Well, at least I did it on the Cobra for the hard-up garage trailer, and that is now safe and sound in London without having to pay any kind of fee. Same with the Chaser. The whole point we're getting it trailered is so I don't have to pay that £12.50. I know it's a bit fickle. I just refuse. I disagree with the whole process. So that's the Chaser on the way to Wembley. Isn't it crazy how out of all my cars, this one is the one that Sadiq Khan likes. I don't need to pay that's a lot of smoke. But here we are already entering the ultra low emission zones, and we are in. So the Chaser or the Cobra now need to pay £12.50 for the obligation to drive on this very heavily congested and dangerous road with the emissions in the air that just lovely right now. But here we are at Wembley, and I shall let this very colourful Porsche 911 GT3 out. Look at that. Wow, love that. That's come from the Czech Republic. Right, here we are, pink lower. So I can see my Cobra already. My Chaser is on the Motul stand, which is upstairs, and I think this Porsche is going on the Shmee 150 stand with the Zenvo. How are you doing?
I'm good. I was just making flames and fireballs.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
But whilst my cars are now parked up just next door to Tim's stand and his massive collection of cars, I need to go upstairs and unload the Chaser, or see if it's arrived yet, because Motul are up there. Maybe when I come back down I'll tell them they've parked upside down. But walking up to the pink upper part of the car park, there's some revolutions as more cars arrive, and it seems that my car is already here. But we're just about to open for the public to arrive, and the police have turned up. They're displaying their BMW, their bike, their unmarked BMW by the wide body GT86s, and we're just posing for photos with the blue flashy lights. I'm going to take the tape off. Oh, it's left some residue on the red. I don't think parcel tape was a good shout. Oh, voila! But I have quite a large space I've got between these two pillars, so I need to arrange these two cars into a good location, just like Tim is doing with his cars, although he has a lot more than I do. Come on, door. What? Oh. Obviously, alarm. Obviously the Cobra will be at the front. You need to put the Nissan behind. Ah, yes, that's in the way. Adam Fest, 27th of May. Oh, silence. Oh, look, a P1's arrived. How pleasant. The 918, of course. Yeah, something like that. But for the grandest of all revivals, we have the Bosozoku van. Wow, that looks awful. So This is the new hard-up garage vehicle, an old Bosozoku van from Japan. I've seen. Is that Vale? That's like from a. I recognise that bumper. Is it Valeside? I don't think Sam will know, but it's pink and it's missed. Oh my God! There, S14 headlights. It's got S14 headlights on the Bozo van. Well, that's only got 75% of an S14 headlight. The wheels are disgusting. The paintwork needs redoing, but the spoiler is gigantic. That's amazing. Oh, I never thought I'd see a van with Valeside bumper, S14 headlights, wide arches and a blowing exhaust. I've been looking around at some of the JDM whips, like the 350, the Audi R8, the Mr. 2, the Cresta, and a Valeside RX-7 that I have never seen before. You have probably never seen this one before, because this does not frequent car shows at all. It's probably the first time it's been seen at a show so publicly. A cherry red example of the Valeside Mazda RX-7. Don't you worry, it still has a rotary inside. That's a beautiful colour. And talking of Fast and Furious, we have an R34 GTT in Brian's GTR livery getting honked at by a Corsa. And following the R34 in, we have a Mark V Supra, which is replicating Han's car from the latest Fast and Furious film. But I've headed over to the green parking section of the show. So much to see, so much to do, but first we have the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento, the car I so much wanted to see earlier this year, is finally here, and I get to have my first look properly at the car, up and close, and it's blocked by a lot of people. Show you around some of the show. They're about to give away a car on the stage, hence the loudness, but here are the American cars of the show. You've got the Corvette C5, Mustangs everywhere too. And further up we have the Hard Up Garage Ultima Sports with its new exhaust. You've got the Snoop DeVille by the Bosozoku van you saw arriving as well. You've got the Mitsubishi Evo, you've got the Slammed Stager. Many of these cars we have seen at other outdoor shows, but seeing them indoors is such a cool vibe. Like the pair of Corsas, this one is twin engines. You've got one up front and then in the rear as well. And Helen Stanley's drawing on a car. Oh no! What have you done that for? You've been drawing on Mark McCann's Huracan.
I know, and now I'm flinging pens.
And you're flinging pens at me, yeah. Well, it looks amazing.
Thank you.
Oh, someone's won a car. I think it was an M2 something I that has been won. Here we have Ewan Thomas and his new truck. Just a shame it's very rusty. I'd sort that out if I was you. But just in front we have a slammed Toyota Century. Look at those wheels. We're getting some air action. Look at that. Gleaming black paintwork and luxurious inside as well. Here we go. Tucking the arch in on the Toyota Century. It's so low. And this E36 compact drift car begins a bit of a BMW lineup next door. With a whole load of E30 M3s and 3 Series, we've got the slammed 3-litre CSL. That is next door to the gorgeous cherry red E39 with that custom bonnet. Also, check out this 370Z and the jagged diffuser on the back. Now, I was talking to some friends about it earlier, saying how it'd be so easy to walk into it, and it looks like someone has, because there's only 3 and there should be one there. And that's just down from this Alpina E30 BMW with a glass roof. Take a look at that. I've never seen anything like that on a car like this. It's a removable hardtop for a convertible E30 Alpina C2 2.7. And as a bit of a surprise, we have a 7.2 litre AC Cobra. So this is a modern recreation. Looks a bit like a DB with the 7.2 V8 from Ford up front. And now that there is no more crowd around the Sesto Elemento, I can finally get that up-close look of a car I've wanted to see for years. The Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. Sesto Elemento in Italian translates to the 6th element, which is carbon, hence carbon fibre. That is why they called it the Sesto Elemento. This is a full-on race car based on the Gallardo platform, and it's a bit of a design influence to the Lamborghini Huracan. Look how far back the gearbox has been mounted. You've got the exhaust up top there as well. You've got the traditional Arrow Lamborghini rear lights, very similar to the rear end of the Huracan. And through those whole miles there, you can just about see bits of the V10 that we heard earlier, the Sesto Elemento in all of its beauty at Petrolheadonism Underground. And I've just spotted quite the Supra. We've seen it before. I think it's an Abflug body kit on it. Take a look at the width and the fatness and the size of this Mark IV Supra. 2J up front, massive shiny turbo as well, the carbon fibre on it as well. That, I believe, is an Abflug kit. It's quite round and spherical at the rear. Look at that, take it all in. It almost makes it look very narrow here. That is the widest Supra of the show. Also, in the background, little TVR Tuscan. But here is quite the section to behold. Unfortunately, the lighting is a bit difficult to show. The group of R34s and R34 GTRs. There's 6 of them all together, lined up in their V formation in all different specs. You could even call them V specs. It is such a treat to see so many of them all together. None of them in Bayside Blue, and just over from them we have a pair of S14s. Both types, the Zenki and the Kuki, I think that's how it's pronounced. S14A in yellow, best colour, and my favourite colour. And you got the star cars right to the front. There's another Dax Cobra over there with the Ferrari Enzo and the Ferrari F50 and the little Fiat Ferrari van as well. But back down into the pink section of the show, we have the Fast and Furious cars, including this Supra that's manoeuvring. He's just let someone out who's leaving a little bit early. So you've got Brian Supra from the film. Craig Lieberman is here as well doing autographs. He is the director of the first Fast and Furious films. So you've got the Mark IV Supra, you've got the supercharged Dodge Charger, the Mitsubishi Eclipse as well. This is definitely one of my favourites. You've got the twin nitrous oxide canisters in the boot. Next door to that you've got the Jetta, which yes does have brakes. Then you've got Brian's R34. We have Suki's S2000, another personal favourite of mine, with the Tokyo number plate on that in pink with the pink interior, the pink spoiler on the back. That is fantastic. Next door to the Evo as well. Then we revisit this Veilside Mazda RX-7 with the Veilside 350Z from Tokyo Drift. This is gorgeous. First time it's been seen in public at a show, as far as I know, in cherry red. And then the Veilside 350 next door. You've got Supra Challenger 350. These were featured in a latest Fast and Furious film in the background of the shots. Then, of course, the Bayside Blue R34 GTR. We've got the Mark V Supra and the Hobson Shaw Crane. Now, down from the Fast and Furious cars, we have this Sierra P100, which seems to have a Jaguar V8. Yeah. So this is underneath a Jaguar S-Type R. It's got S-Type R interior, but then P100 body, wide body as well. I think a lot of cars are just getting ready to leave because we are on the second day of this 2-day event. There is one car in particular that I wanted to show you, but it's already gone. Here's a picture, S2000 with no front wings.
But here we have the Mark McCann Send, we've got the G-Wagon, we've got the Aventador SVJ, we've got the Ken Block Ford Fiesta, we have the also Alex stand, we've got Phil, the MX-5, Tommy Music's new Raps SF90, we've got Chris Slick's supercharged E92 M3 by Yorkshire Car Restoration's 635 CSI, I believe. This is Matt Armstrong's car that they are restoring. It's in the undercoat, the white, but it's going to remain white with a body kit. We'll see how this goes. And then the Schmee 150 Porsche 914. This is called Patches. They are left-hand drive only. I considered buying a 914 years ago when I had the MGB, and I thought this could be a cool replacement, but I was chickened out. We've got the Rattarossa Ferrari 360. We've got Ben Collins with his Lancia Delta covered in dirt, much like the proper rally cars. There you go. And even Mater. We've got the Dad Cars stand with the Maserati Coupe. We've got Jurassic Park and the Camaro and the Aston Martin and the G-Wagons. So, make sure you hit that bell when you subscribe to be notified for my next video. But for now, thanks for watching.
Around the corner, wild Adam C is spotted, engaging with his viewers, and a Shmoo the Cow, who is a VIP here at Petrolheadonism.